This is Chef Kas coming at you live from space. Intergalactic action, the kitchen musician, the Hugh Hefner of the kitchen, the one and only, the rock'em sock'em robot. We're gonna be making some smoothies now. Okay, so this blender is my favorite personal blender. You see these crazy advertisements for the Ninja all the time on TV. I got this thing before I even saw those crazy advertisements. What I love about it, and there's much more expensive blenders, there's much more professional blenders, but this is a more intelligently designed blender. And to me, intelligent design is a very good thing. So it has 3 blades. What that's going to do is it's going to prevent anyone who has ever made a smoothie or a puree in a blender, is it's going to prevent everything from just blending at the bottom and not blending on the higher levels up. It also has a great locking seal lid, and once that's locked in, it's good to go. Also, I love the base, and I'll show you that when we get over there. So I'm going to drop right into our blender some ice, some raspberries, some strawberries, and these are frozen. The strawberries and the blueberries are both going to be frozen. And what that's going to do is it's going to give us a nice consistency. Catch any strawberries that might be flying onto your arm. Okay, I'm going to put some blueberries in there. Pretty standard so far, right? Next, we're going to throw in here a banana. I think you've seen one of these before. Feel that guy. And that's the cool thing too, is I'm doing a combination of fresh and frozen fruit. And some people will say, you know, is the fresh fruit of any better quality than the frozen fruit? And I say, you know what? If you're going to eat fruit, eat fruit. Don't worry about if it's fresh or frozen. Fresh, sure, fresh is better than fruit, but don't not eat fruit because it's frozen. I would say don't maybe get powders or, you know, purees like they use in the smoothies at McDonald's and places like that. But fresh fruit or frozen fruit, of course I prefer fresh, but I like to have a mix. Next, I'm putting some spinach in here. And this might be where you start to say, all right, Chef Kas, you've lost it. And I say, have you ever tried spinach in your smoothie? What it does is it puts a lot of different sorts of fiber, and it doesn't really taste like much, which helps kind of mute out the sweetness of all of those fruits. You know, smoothies are great, but it's a ton of sugar. And there's nothing wrong with that in itself, but we can get a sugar crash, and if we drink too much of it, it can just make us feel unwell because all that sugar still has to digest. Next thing that might not be so normal is I'm going to put a big piece of dark chocolate in there. And we're just going to enjoy some dark chocolate goodness. I'm all about dark chocolate goodness. If you don't like dark chocolate goodness, call me. I will convince you. Next, I'm going to put in some Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt is very high in protein, low in fat, and it's just going to also be a nice balancing, a neutral sort of flavor to subdue the sweetness slightly. I'm going to do probably about a half a cup of that. I didn't really tell you any measurements because it's up to you. How much you're going to make is up to you. I'm not huge on measurements. I don't really use recipes. You know what I use? My palate, my stomach, my brain, my eyes. And I say, how have I made this before? How sweet was it? Do I want it to be less sweet or more sweet? How much of it do I want? Sometimes I'll just have a smoothie, and that's all I'll have for about 3 or 4 hours. In that case, I'm going to make a pretty big smoothie. Next, I'm going to put some orange juice in here. And I'm only going to fill it to about a quarter, oh, a lot of pulp in this guy. About a quarter of the way up. Maybe slightly more because this is a large amount. And that'll be plenty of liquid to get this thing blending, and really that's all I want. I don't want it to be watery. I want it to be nice and milkshake consistency style. Milkshake consistency style. We're gonna lock that in, and here's what I was talking about with the Ninja. It's great. Once it's locked in, you know, sometimes you get the bottom of the blender will get worn out. The little rubber thing will get worn out, and this prevents that. This locking mechanism prevents it from ever having that problem and getting all warped and worn down. Hit power and close your ears. And what's pretty cool is you see it just starts at the bottom, but soon enough, it will all be incorporated. see all the ingredients are incorporating. Some people will ask, how long should I blend this for? And again, that's totally up to you. If you want a little bit thicker consistency, a little less time. If you want a little bit smoother, more liquidy consistency, a little more time. And that might be obvious. There's other auditory clues you want to hear. If you put something hard in there like dark chocolate, you don't want to hear that thing bouncing around, making little pings. Otherwise, you're going to end up with too much graininess. I like that whatever I put in there that's hard, maybe that's enough, that is really chopped up smooth. You can also do that beforehand. You can put in a food processor or even like a coffee grinder. That looks pretty good to me. I think we got to test it out to make sure though. Also going to open it up to see how it looks. I like it to be pretty thick still. You know, not like milkshake, super thick. Friendlies for you, for those of you from the East Coast. Have your containers ready. And you'll notice that I'm using yogurt and cottage cheese containers. And that's a great way to recycle these things. You know, it's also really good if you want to take something on the go. You want a big smoothie in the morning, and you know, it's just easier than having a cup. You know, you don't have to buy plastic cups and create more waste. Another thing that I love to do is take the tops and cut a little hole in them for the straw, and then you don't even have to worry about spilling it. And it works really, really well. Let's give it our taste of approval. Chef Kas, taste of approval. Those chocolate chunks are in there. It's like a chocolate chip fruit smoothie, fruit spinach smoothie, chocolate chip. The chocolate stuff. It's damn good though. When I stop talking, you know something tastes good.